so much. I appreciate it. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, cool. Yeah, thank you so much again. Appreciate it. We had some construction going on outside of my house here, so I just quickly shut some windows. So sorry about that. Um, but thank you to the Women's Business Center of San Luis Obispo for sponsoring today's presentation. Again, my name is Richard Myersco. I am the Caltrans District 5 District Small Business Liaison, or DSBL. And it is my duty to assist small businesses in navigating Caltrans processes. Caltrans District 5, by the way, consists of the counties of Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, Monterey, San Benito, and Santa Cruz. Today's presentation is titled Overview of Caltrans Minor Program. The minor program focuses on small construction contracts. This is the 8th installment in the Paving the Road to Success with Caltrans series of training presentations. They are specifically authored to assist small businesses. As the title suggests, today we will learn about construction projects specifically targeted to small businesses. Before we get started, we'd like to review Caltrans' non-discrimination policy statement. Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits discrimination based upon race, color, and national origin. Specifically, 42 U.S. 2000D states that no person in the United States shall, on the ground of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. And this is really at the heart of everything we're hoping to achieve here at Caltrans. We do have a link on the page if you'd like to find out more information about Title VI. Department mission. Caltrans wants to provide a safe and reliable transportation network that serves all people and respects the environment. Caltrans strives to provide a safe and sustainable, integrated and efficient transportation system to enhance our state's economy and livability. As you can see from some of the numbers, quoted on this slide, maintaining California's transportation system is an incredible operation in its scope. The 4th and 5th bullet points should really capture your attention, as Caltrans is telling you it needs assistance, and its contracting partners in the private sector are essential. We need help, and this means opportunity. Okay, today's learning objectives. Obviously, we're going to do a general overview of the minor program, including how to find projects, minor project funding, navigating bid opportunities, and locating prior bid samples for research. Before we look at the minor program, please note that Caltrans recognizes 3 business certifications. Small business, or SB. The small business umbrella is the state of California certification that includes the micro business designation and the adjacent small business for the purpose of public works, or SBPW certification. The SBPW is recommended for construction firms. Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, or DVBE, is also a state of California certification that seeks to assist armed forces veterans with service-related disabilities who have left military service. We also have the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, or DBE. The DBE is a federal certification to address the disparity between some businesses and others in terms of access to economic opportunity, and seeks to level the playing field for these businesses. DBE certifications are based upon an owner being a member of certain minority groups or the company being women-owned. When a project has even $1 of federal funds, you can expect to see some type of DBE goal. On this slide, you can see what Caltrans goals are in regards to these certifications: 25% for SB and 5% for DVBE on state-funded contracts, and 22.2% for DBE on federally funded contracts. Okay, let's begin addressing the types of minor programs that are offered. The minor program is a 1-year program reserved for relatively low-cost projects that are State Highway Operation and Protection Program, or SHOP, eligible. Caltrans SHOP management have primary responsibility for planning, developing, managing, and then reporting the 4-year SHOP portfolio of projects. The funding levels of these projects are established by the California Transportation Commission, CTC, which we will discuss more of later in the presentation. CTC and SHOP coordinate on the planning, funding, and implementation of Caltrans projects. The purpose of the minor program is to address low-cost transportation needs that are prioritized at the district level as opposed to statewide. They are also purposely reserved for small businesses. The minor program is reserved for capital improvement projects relative to safety operations, facilities, and rehabilitation of state highways and bridges. We recommend becoming small business certified if you are interested in the minor program projects. Most importantly, there is a 100% small business goal on minor projects. So that's something that should capture your interest. Okay, construction minor A projects. So for construction minor A projects, the project limit is $1,250,000. The limit for these projects is set by the California Transportation Commission, again referred to as CTC. Minor A's are advertised and awarded by the Office of Engineers. They are advertised on both Cal eProcure and Contractors Corner. And we'll talk a lot more about both of those sites. Both sites' web links are provided on the screen. Just a reminder, this PowerPoint will be made available to everyone after today's presentation. Construction minor B projects. So the previous slide was called minor A, these are called minor B. For the minor B program, the project limit is $461,000. By the way, that was just changed, I think at the beginning of this year or the very tail end of last year. So it has increased from previously, I think it was 366,000. Now it's down to 461,000. Every 2 years, the limit for these projects is set by the California Department of Finance, referred to as DOF. It is at the district director's discretion as to which projects will be part of the minor program. These projects are awarded by Caltrans Division of Procurement and Contracts, referred to as DPAC. And we're going to have a lot of information like that coming out at you with all these acronyms and abbreviations. So just part of government, so apologies ahead of time for that. Minor B contracts are more common than minor A, so these are the more common ones. Minor Bs are also advertised on Cal eProcure and Contractors Corner. And both sites are, again, given to you on the slide. To help you plan for bidding on minor programs, let's discuss the California Transportation Commission. This will give you additional background on the minor program. So it's not, you don't have to know all this information, but it just kind of gives you a little background of what's going on our end. And I always think that's a good thing to know. The CTC is a 13-member commission and is responsible for programming and allocating funds for the construction of highways, passenger rail, transit, and all active transportation improvements throughout California. So as you can tell, they work pretty closely with Caltrans. They approve Caltrans construction projects, including the minor program. And we've provided a link for further CTC information if you'd like to visit their company. The CTC Minor Program Award Timeline. During the June CTC meetings, they allocate funding for the minor projects for the following fiscal year. And let me talk about that. The fiscal year for the state, for all state agencies, so in other words, for the California state government, is July 1st to June 30th of the following year. So we're fast approaching the end of this fiscal year. During June, the projects will be identified for next fiscal year. Each project will have information on project description, district, county, route, and post mile, expenditure authorization or EA number, the 10-digit project ID, performance measures, estimated day labor expenditure, estimated right-of-way expenditure total for the life of the project, estimated support expenditure total for the life of the project, estimated construction expenditure total for the life of the project. So a lot of information for sure. And if there are changes to the project list for minor B projects, they are updated and noticed to the CTC at future meetings. Minor A updates to the project list must also be approved by the CTC. All right, so where are you going to find minor projects listed? Okay, so we mentioned them earlier, but Contractors Corner is an online portal designed to provide Caltrans construction contract opportunities to businesses. This website gives firms access to advertisements, bids, and contracting resources for all Caltrans, districts statewide. And just a reminder that there are 12 districts in California, 12 Caltrans districts in California. And we'll provide a map later in the presentation so you can see what those look like. And again, just a reminder, we're District 5 here. To bid on a contract, you must register and create an account on Contractors Corner. You can also use the opt-in program for a project of your interest. All right, CalEProcure is an online portal designed to provide information and opportunities to businesses selling products, and services to the state of California. This website gives businesses access to bidding and contracting resources for all state agencies, including Caltrans. So let me just make that clear. The previous slide talked about Contractors Corner. That is only going to have information for Caltrans related construction projects. CalEProcure, on the other hand, will have information for all state agencies. So I think it's wise to maybe be familiar with both. This website gives businesses access to bidding and contracting. It is also where state purchasers and prime contractors search for contracting partners. So keep in mind, when setting up your CalEProcure, be sure to set notifications for projects listed under your current licenses, certifications, and/or work codes. Make sure to invest sufficient time and effort in setting up your company's profile. I really do emphasize that. Sometimes when you become certified, Caltrans will, or I shouldn't say Caltrans, but the CalEProcure will set up a profile for you, but it really is quite bare bones. It's in your best interest to go in there and spend a little time making it complete, and so that the information is completely accurate and it's up to date, and obviously will attract more people to you. For example, adding any business certifications or licenses your company possesses. Project advertisements on Contractors Corner. So it's a one-stop shop for construction and Caltrans contracting. Projects are added every week and are advertised from 3 to 7 weeks each. You can find look-ahead reports, bid summaries, and cost index information, standard plans, specifications for contracts. A reminder that this is Caltrans only portal, so only Caltrans information will be on there. The link to the site is provided on the slide once again. Project advertisements on CalEProcure. Find bid opportunities in the California State Contracts Register, or CSCR, and that is where you can find all current contracts that are available. Create a profile and receive bid notifications. So again, you can have a profile on both sites, and we do recommend that. Program limits set by California Department of Finance, or the DOF, as we mentioned earlier. All state agencies utilize this site, including Caltrans. So a lot of times projects will be listed on both. I just want to make that clear, and that can be sort of confusing sometimes, but just letting you know. All state agencies utilize the site, like I mentioned. Once again, the link to the site is provided on the slide. So now we'll address how to navigate bid opportunities. Okay, so here's a screenshot of the Contractors Corner portal. So once again, this is going to be Caltrans related. A reminder that the minor A project limit is 1.25 million. Click on the advertisements tab on the Caltrans Contractors Corner site. Minor projects, as well as all of the projects, will be listed. You can also view the 24-month look-ahead report amongst much other available information. So the 24-month look-ahead report, as it sounds, will give you 2 years worth of upcoming projects. Be careful with that. If this is, I don't have to tell you this if you're in construction, but sometimes the dates of when projects are set to begin can change, due to whatever, weather, for instance. So just be aware of that. You can also find sample projects that have been awarded on Contractors Corner via the Awards tab. Prior bid results are found utilizing the searchable past bids result link, which is, I think, going to be that one, yes. And you can also click on post-bid files. From there, For older contracts, you may click the embedded hyperlink, click here for older contracts, which will take you to the post-bid archived files. I encourage you to use this references so you can prepare your bid on a minor A project, understand the bid and pricing, or reach out to primes or subs on ongoing, involved on ongoing contracts. When researching a specific contract, it is helpful to have the contract number if possible. Okay, as mentioned, you will also find contracts posted on Cal eProcure. You can search for solicitations currently advertised. From the Cal eProcure website, select bid opportunities in the California State Contracts Register, or CSCR, that we talked about previously. The bid opportunities in the California State Contracts Register link will bring this screen on the slide. To view minor B, enter the word minor. It's really quite simple in the events name box. So right up here, just type in the word minor and enter Caltrans department code, which is 2660, and again is located here on the page. So how would one get that? To find the department code, click on the 3 horizontal lines, which is right here, and that will bring all the departments that are part of California. And then you look for the Department of Transportation, which is our official agency title. Then press the search button, and the list will then populate of contracts currently out to bid for Caltrans only. When searching for projects, you want to be sure to search for projects that fit your business's core competencies and business functions. I think that makes sense, right? Because you can really get yourself into trouble if you bite off a little more than you can chew. Never choose a project that your business is not qualified for or that you don't have the capacity to complete. This is a sample of the projects list from a recent search, which contains information including, so if you look for some contracts, this will what might pop up: event ID, event name, department name, end date, and status. So our focus today is on minor construction projects, as the title suggests. However, if you are looking, for opportunities to sell products to Caltrans, you can also utilize Cal eProcure. So click the advanced search criteria link, enter your business goods or services, then press the search button. By entering your business's goods and services, your search will be tailored to your specific inquiry, in case you happen to sell stuff as well as be involved in construction. So in summary, minor projects are an intriguing pathway for certified small businesses to become contractors on attainable and manageable construction contracts. So let me just give you a little background here. A lot of times with small businesses who are wanting to be involved in Caltrans construction projects, you'll see these huge, projects that are like sometimes in the tens of millions of dollars, and that might seem like that would be too much for your company, which is sort of growing at this point. And so how can you work with Caltrans? Well, there's really kind of 2 different ways. One is you could become a subcontractor for a prime contractor. So a prime contracting company, a large one, has won the contract, but they need to meet certain small business goals. We sort of force them to do that, which is a good thing for everyone. So they'll have parts or portions of their contract be done by small businesses as a part. So that's one way you could start to work with Caltrans. I would suggest, though, I should remind you, that you will not be technically a Caltrans contractor. You'll be working for the prime. But it's just a good way for you to be introduced to the government Caltrans process. The other way is through these minor projects. So these are minor projects by our standards. So again, 1.25 million or below for minor A, and then 461,000 or below for minor B. And that's a great way for you to be the prime contractor yourself. So a small business, in essence, is the prime contractor. And we've set aside those minor projects. Again, I just want to emphasize, we have a 100% small business goal. We're at about 88% now, and you'll ask why we're not at 100. Well, because sometimes in certain rural areas, or if the project is really kind of complicated, we just don't have anybody bid on it. So then unfortunately we have to write a justification as to why we're doing it, but we'll have to give it to the non-small business certified community to complete. But anyway, exciting opportunities, hopefully. So let's get some frequently asked questions. What are minor A and B project limits? The minor A limit is, again, 1.25 million. I've probably said it a bunch of times today. The minor B limit, once again, is 461,000. Where can I find minor projects advertised? Again, on CaliProcure and Contractors Corner. Really, if you're only interested in working for Caltrans on construction projects, you're probably going to just really stick to Contractors Corner. However, check out CaliProcure. For instance, let's just say, I would assume most construction projects done by the state of California are probably going to be Caltrans related, but there could be an opportunity, like, for instance, at the Department of State Hospitals. Maybe they're doing some sort of project on their property to build some building or something. So that wouldn't be listed on Contractors Corner. So that's why it's probably wise to also check out CaliProcure from time to time, at least. What is the California Transportation Committee responsible for, or CTC? The CTC approves Caltrans projects, including the minor program. So it's good to know who's doing all this stuff. I think it's always, the more information is better, but don't get bogged down too much with any of this, but we just like to let you know what's going on in our stuff. Okay, let's provide some small business resources, both within and without Caltrans. Here's a list of some small business resources Caltrans offers, and I can tell you that there's a lot of really great information on this page. The main Caltrans website is dot.ca.gov, and all Department of Transportation public information can be accessed there. So, it's by Caltrans. We call ourselves Caltrans. Our marketing says Caltrans, but officially, technically, our name is the Department of Transportation. So don't be thrown off by that. Hence, the dot.ca.gov website is the main one, as opposed to something with the name Caltrans in it. We just like to keep you on your toes with our different names. The Office of Civil Rights small business webpage contains numerous valuable small business resources. So the Office of Civil Rights is an internal department here at Caltrans, and they are obviously involved in civil rights matters, but they're also really involved in the small business part of what we do. So I would recommend checking out that link, and they have a bunch of really great resources on like an informational page. Once again, Contractors Corner, we've talked about a lot, is the Caltrans construction dedicated portal. We did talk about that a little bit earlier, of course. We also earlier discussed CaliProcure, which is vital to any company wishing to work with Caltrans or any other government, California government agency. I would like to especially highlight the outreach calendar link. This calendar is a great tool if you're looking for specific Caltrans small business training opportunities or events where you can network with Caltrans and or other businesses. You can learn about upcoming events scheduled to occur in all 12 of the Caltrans districts. So in fact, today's presentation was on there. By clicking on the specific event listed on this calendar, you can see which district is hosting the event details, how to register, and you can also copy the event directly to your personal calendar. I should mention that all training given by Caltrans is free of charge. That's sort of like one of our internal rules, so that's good news. There's also a brief synopsis of what the event is about and the topics to be covered. Please note many of these events are held virtually like today and have no associated travel costs. So the only cost usually for you, if there are any, it would be, I guess, traveling to the event and back. The Caltrans Division of Construction webpage contains a lot of helpful links for our construction partners. I've looked at this a few times, and then I just looked at it the other day again, and I realized just how much great information is on there. So to me personally, if you're in the construction world, you're hoping to work with Caltrans, that is the one I would definitely bookmark, the Division of Construction webpage. It has a lot of great information packed on there, and is a great reference tool for you moving forward. We have some other resources. The labor compliance link has some important information to assist you with labor questions. That's a little bit outside of my scope, but it's definitely something that folks have a lot of questions and concerns about. So we have a great informational page that you can check out. For all DBE related information, so that would be Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, you can visit both the web links that we've provided. The first is a Caltrans DBE certification informational page, and the second is a dedicated Caltrans DBE website. So typically, most Caltrans information is going to be found on the dot.ca.gov website. However, because this is so specialized, we actually have come up with an entire website that's separate just for the DBE. You can access it through the DOT website. It'll have a link on there, but just know that it will take you to another website where we have a lot of great information, including how to become certified as a DBE. Please note that the State Contract and Procurement Registration System, SKIPPers, as we like to call it, or SCPRS. Again, a little mouthy, a lot of words in that, so we like to keep it a little short by calling it SKIPPers. And this can be accessed through the CaliProcure website or directly through the provided link. And that will have a lot of really great information on past contracts. And I think it's good to check out just to get a little background and do some research on how things went down with some other past contracts. The CaliProcure website also has, just so you know, the CaliProcure website has a lot of other information, including, importantly, the Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Certification information. So that's actually now online only, and you can access that through the CaliProcure website. In addition to the SKIPPers webpage, we have also provided a link to the contract cost data for construction-related contract research. I'm less familiar with that site, I'll be honest with you, but it is pretty important for you to check out if you're looking at construction-related data. Visit these websites to look up past bids and to see what departments are purchasing items and services that your company offers. Okay, so we talked about some Caltrans resources, but we want to talk about some community small business resources that are available. So these are organizations that probably work with Caltrans in some fashion, but they are actually separate. And so we should address those. Apex Accelerators specifically assist businesses with bidding on government contracts. So that might be someone to check out, and are located statewide. By the way, they used to be called PTAX. So they just changed their name like maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. But the Golden State Apex in Bakersfield covers SLO County, and they can provide services virtually. But everywhere in the entire state has an Apex Accelerator that can provide services for you. Of course, our wonderful hosts today and our friends in the Women's Business Center have purposely designed programs and resources for women business operators, and all are welcome. They did mention that to me, that not everybody that walks through the doors to get assistance with them are women. They also have locations throughout California, including a brick and mortar here in San Luis Obispo. We have the Small Business Development Centers. They offer a multitude of programs to assist new and established companies. So this is what's kind of cool about all these organizations. Each of them that I've done some research and I've spoken with, they help everybody from, you just had an idea and you and like your friend in a garage have decided, let's start our own business. You just had that conversation. So you can be that person who doesn't even have a license yet, all the way up to like your company that's been in business for generations, perhaps. So they really do help everybody from start to finish. Here in San Luis Obispo, the SBDC is affiliated with Cal Poly SLO, and they have a brick and mortar downtown. SCORE, or the Service Corps of Retired Executives, a little bit of a mouthful, they focus like on mentoring for business operators by experienced business people. I'll imagine that a mentoring probably occurs in a lot of the organizations up here, but the SCORE really, that's their kind of forte. They have a San Luis Obispo chapter as well. And then we also have the Small Business Administration. That's a federal umbrella organization that assists small businesses and organizations. In fact, I know they, in some cases, provide funding for many of the folks that are on the page today. Their offices and websites also act as an informational hub for small business resources. So they're a federal and national organization, but they do have an office. I think they have two in California, maybe I'm wrong, but I know they have one up in Northern California somewhere. And that information will be on the website, so we provided that for you. And also their website really acts as like an informational hub. It has a lot of just general small business stuff on there. And again, I think it would be wise of you to maybe peruse their site and check it out. Most of the services offered by all of these organizations is either at low cost or no. Okay, I talked about it earlier. We have a map. So this is the map of California, obviously, and you're going to see all the districts that are in California for Caltrans. Excuse me, let's take up. So we divide ourselves up into two. So Caltrans divides itself up into 12 districts, and each of them serve a county or a set of counties. You'll see 5 is kind of like in the middle. And we tried to be, for it to make sense, but you'll see there's some jumps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all of a sudden there's 10. So some of these are districts that have appeared later. We decided to cut up some of the larger districts, perhaps because of the population, whatnot. So you'll see everybody up there, but yeah, so it covers from all the way in the north, all the way down to the Mexican border. And on this slide, we've listed the districts and each of their 12 district headquarters. So our state agency headquarters is in Sacramento, which is common for state agencies, but each of the districts themselves also have their own district headquarters. Here in District 5, it's in San Luis Obispo, which is where I work. And we have a lot of other facilities sprinkled throughout the district. So we'll have stuff in Santa Barbara, maybe stuff up in Monterey. So just letting you know. And if you click on each of the emboldened districts' names, and again, you'll get a copy of this PowerPoint, it will take you to the webpage. So the main dot.ca.gov website, which is, again, the main Caltrans website, has portions dedicated to each of the districts. And I think they're all really cool. So check those out. And according to at least my research, every district has a small business page. So that will have some resources on them. Probably redundant to maybe some of the other stuff that's been provided, but just worth checking out. So anyway, check that out. And let's talk about DSBLs. So District Small Business Liaisons. So another mouthful, right? And each of the Caltrans 12 districts has at least one District Small Business Liaison, or DSBL. Because each district operates individually, and I will say there is some individualized operations for sure. So each district is sort of like a mini Caltrans in some way. They may have slightly different processes or maybe cultures. So your best resource for any question would be the DSBL of the district you're hoping to work with. The DSBL can assist with identifying your next steps, with doing business with that, and doing business with that specific district. DSBLs serve as the district's primary point of contact for small business-related concerns, including efforts to increase the participation of certified small businesses, disabled veteran businesses, enterprises, and disadvantaged business enterprises. And we're hoping to not only get more folks certified, but to get those certified folks involved in contract and procurement. In addition, DSBLs provide outreach and advocacy services. So outreach would be an event like today. Advocacy as well. We do attend the Small Business Council, which is a statewide Caltrans meeting that hopes to advocate for better access for small businesses to Caltrans. Once again, I and the other district small businesses liaisons are your primary point of contact when trying to work with our department. There's also a web link to the contact page of all the Caltrans DSBL. So that's kind of fun. So if you're wondering like, hey, I'd like to work, I'm looking at a project in District 6, who's over there, this link will take you to a list of the person that would be best for you to reach out to. And a much cleverer person than me once said in a meeting, DSBLs are really like a concierge. And that's true, that's what we are. So we don't always have the information, and sometimes we're not even the person who's probably going to be able to provide that, but hopefully we can put you in touch with a person like that, or do some research and find out the information for you. So, you know, we're always hoping to, you know, provide good customer service. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our presentation, the overview of Caltrans minor program, small construction contracts. And so we'd like to open it up to any questions.
Okay, well, if we do not have any questions, I would like to let everyone, first, I would like to thank everyone for attending our workshop today, and most certainly would like to take the time to thank Richard for sharing your expertise with us today.